Okay. All right. Hey, everybody. This is Clay. I think I'm live here. So, I did a test live stream the other day, and everything seemed to work out okay. So, I wanted to do this as like an official announcement about what's going on and where things are at and how everything's going to go moving forward. Um, I know I did make most of these announcements in the other video, so this might be a little bit repetitive. There's like a little ray of sunlight right on my face here, so I'm just going to tilt this over. Okay, so um, as you may know, if you have watched some of the recent videos that I've done, especially the ones outside at the park where I'm talking about some things that are going on in my life and kind of hopefully tying that to some relationship lessons that might be useful to you in your life. What I want to do moving forward is to talk more about kind of the deeper things that are going on with people's love lives and their relationships and all of that stuff, you know, because like I'm kind of known as a relationship, a breakup expert. Let's see, we have somebody here. Looks like Lucy. Says G. I don't know what that means, but okay. Yeah, so I'm known as like a breakup expert, and you know that's all great and everything, and that's cool. But I can talk about like text messages and all of that stuff, but really that's just kind of the symptoms of what's going on, and it's kind of pointless and not very effective for me to be helping people have relationships if those relationships aren't going to work out in the long run, right? And so I really want to help people by doing some of that deeper work when it comes to how you're bringing yourself to a relationship, how you're bringing yourself to a dynamic, or how you're bringing yourself to interacting with others, and to really set yourself up for a high quality, strong relationship in the long run from the beginning. You know, there was somebody who left a comment a while ago on one of my videos, I don't know, like last week, and it was something like, you know, hey, how do I get my ex back? I got fired from my job. I got a DUI. I got in a car accident because of the DUI, and it's like, okay, um, I think she probably broke up with you because you're the kind of person that gets DUIs, you're the kind of person that gets fired from their job, and you're the kind of person that crashes their car while driving around drunk. And she probably realized that she didn't want to be in a relationship with that kind of person, right? And I know that that person was in pain, and I did my best to empathize with that person's pain. But at the same point in time, you also have to say, okay, like what's going on with me, right? Like most people don't just go around like randomly getting DUIs. You get a DUI because you get drunk and then you get in a car, right? That's how it works. And most people don't just go around getting randomly fired. Like, sure, there are some companies that aren't managed very well, and because they're not managed very well, they have to like go out of business and they let everybody on the staff go. But all of that aside, most people get fired because they're more of a liability to their employer than they are a benefit to their employer. And so, um, like, you can't just be looking at the symptomatic cause of what's going on. You have to look a little bit deeper at what is driving your choices, right? And this applies to a lot of other folks as well too, right? So like there's other people that leave a lot of comments that are like, hey, you know, I'm in this like situation where somebody cheats on me. How do I get back together with them? And it's like, okay, well, what is really telling you, hey, I should be dating somebody who cheats on me? What's telling you that this is acceptable behavior for me to take from someone else? This is acceptable behavior for me to accept from somebody that I might be dating, somebody that I might be in a relationship with. And really that's your self-esteem, right? Let's see, got some comments here. Francis says, good morning, Clay. Hi there, Francis. These comments seem to disappear, so I'm not sure if I can bring them back up. Oh, look, I can. Okay. Okay, cool. All right, I'm still getting accustomed to this live streaming thing here. Carl says, I realize my energy boundaries are wide open since my last boyfriend, or maybe that's Cal, I don't know, I can't read very clearly without getting obnoxiously close to the camera. My last boyfriend, who is energy draining, a psychic vampire. Okay, well, I actually don't know anything about psychic vampires, but if somebody is really draining to you on an energetic level, then that's probably somebody who is not a great person to be in a relationship with. But anyway, let's kind of get back to topic here. So I want to spend at least the next period of time, however long it may take, to really address the issues that are deeper than the symptoms of, hey, somebody won't text me back, or hey, somebody's in a rebound relationship or something. I want to address the issues of self-esteem and of how we're bringing ourselves to our relationships, because I don't just want you to get into a relationship if it's not one that's going to really help you or serve you or be in your best interest, because the other person isn't a good fit for you. Not that there's anything wrong with the other person, it's just maybe you have different values, maybe different things are important to you, and all of that. So that's what we're going to be focusing on. I spent the past couple of weeks doing some prep work and kind of testing out this whole live streaming stuff, making sure I have the right equipment, and I got a microphone and all that. And I also wanted to invite you, if this is something that you want to learn more about, to pick up a copy of this book that I wrote called Be Loved for Who You Are. It's over at modernlove.life/book, modernlove.life/book. You can get the book for, I don't know, like $7 US. I think it's like $10 Canadian or something. It's not very expensive. It's you can get it in PDF. It's in an EPUB format, which I've never done it before, but I think you can take that and put it on like a Kindle or something. So if that's something you're interested in, you can go ahead and check it out. And this will help to explain a lot of the concepts that we're going to be talking about over the next several weeks in greater detail. So yeah, that's what's going on. That's what's going on. I'm recording these videos in a conference room that I have reserved, so I'm not back out in the park anymore, which is great because it's winter time over here, so I don't have to shiver and deal with the cold weather. And yeah, I'm really feeling a lot of good, positive direction and motivation for this. Yeah, so now that I've been alive for a few minutes, let's see if we've got any comments or questions that we can ask. Let's see, what other YouTube coaches you endorse for us to watch as well? I do like Love Advice TV. I've spoken with them personally. I've spoken with Adrian and Natalie. They're nice, wonderful people. I'm also friends with Clayton Olson. Kind of a weird situation, but we actually introduced each other because we have like similar first names, and it turns out we actually know a lot of similar people and have been to a lot of similar events, so we actually get along pretty well. I met him in person when I went to go visit Denver for a conference, and he lived in the area, so we got together. I also like a guy named Eddie Corbano. He specifically helps people get over breakups. I don't think he puts out a lot of YouTube videos, but he does a pretty good job. He's over at lovesagame.com. So that's somebody you might want to check out as well too. Let's see if we have any other comments here. Let's see. Clay, I do, and watched all of your videos. Well, thanks for watching all my videos. X broke up with me for the past 2 months, and I went to no contact, never heard from him. Don't even know where he is. Has he moved on? Okay, so moving on. This is, I'm just going to answer a couple quick questions here, but moving on is an interesting topic, because a lot of people think that somebody has moved on just because they're maybe like dating someone else or because they're not in contact with you or something. But that's not what moving on is. Moving on, the true sense of moving on, is when you are not emotionally wrapped up in the breakup anymore, right? So I'm talking a lot about YouTube comments, but another YouTube comment that I recently got was I just published like a new video, and one of the first comments was like, hey, I'm over my ex. I'm tired of all of these like breakup videos or something like that. This is awful. I hate you or something like that. And I'm like, okay, clearly you have not moved on. Otherwise, me publishing a YouTube video would not like disturb you so much. And I'm not trying to be like, combative with this person. That's just what was going on in my head. So moving on isn't just simply about dating other people. Because if you just date other people, you're not moving on. You're in a rebound relationship, but you're still emotionally bound up in that breakup. You're still emotionally wrapped up in whatever happened or didn't happen. And so you might do things like try to get revenge on your ex. You might try to do things like compete with them. Like, which one of us can get into a relationship first? Which one of us can be married first? Which one of us can seem happier first? Which one of us can live a Instagram perfect lifestyle first? And that's not truly moving on. Truly moving on is about really letting go of what you had with them and being willing to let them live a great life if they so choose to. Let them live an awful life if they so choose to, but their life is theirs to live and your life is yours to live, and to try to move your life in the most optimal direction possible for you. And that's really what truly moving on is about. It's not about your ex. It's not about any of that. It's about really kind of unbinding yourself, untethering yourself emotionally from where they are at. Let's see if we can do like one more quick question here. Does no contact work for long distance relationships? Yes. My ex-girlfriend has unblocked me, but I'm afraid to talk to her. Can you give me some advice, please? I am called Steve. Okay, Steve. Yeah, if you're afraid to talk to your ex-girlfriend, well, it depends on kind of where things stand between the two of you, right? So if I'm just going to try and move over a little bit more and get out of the sun right here. Okay, so if you and your ex-girlfriend are on bad terms, right? Maybe something like really bad happened, you had a big fight, there was some sort of cheating, betrayal, whatever, then you have to get that cleared up. If you don't get that cleared up, then your ex is not going to want to talk to you, because that's going to be an impediment for you to actually bond and connect with one another. Because they're still going to be pissed off about what happened. They're still going to be hurt about what happened. So you're clearing that out by saying, hey, I know that this happened. I would understand if you felt hurt at the time. I did it because I was thinking this way. I felt this way. I wasn't considering how you felt or whatever. And now I can see that maybe I hurt you, or maybe you interpreted it this way, or something like that. That's the first thing. The second thing that you want to do is to just establish an emotional connection, right? So if you're able to do that first thing and do any sort of clearing up that may need to happen, that's optional. If you don't need to do that, then you don't need to do that. But the second thing that you want to do is to establish an emotional connection. And oftentimes this is going to start by simply just contacting them in a simple sort of way and then calibrating to where they're at emotionally. Are they still pissed off? Are they open and receptive to you? Are they just sort of like indifferent and sort of like, hey, I don't know where this is going. I don't know why my ex is contacting me. I'm just going to say, hey, what's up, and see how it goes. And once you kind of know where they're at emotionally, you can sort of meet them where they're at emotionally and then start to guide them down into a more deeper emotional connection, right? So if they're pissed off, you might need to do more of that cleanup. If they're more open and receptive to you, you can probably start to guide them down into an emotional conversation by shifting from talking about probably simple surface level things that maybe you did to initially establish that communication. Like, oh, hey, I ran into our friend so-and-so, or hey, I saw this thing that reminded me of whatever that we used to do together. And then you can start to shift it down to an emotional connection, where you can actually start to form an emotional bond with them. And then once you have that emotional bond, that's when the connection between the two of you starts to get stronger and stronger. And that's when you can actually start to let go of a lot of that anxiety, because once somebody's emotionally invested in a conversation with you, then there's much less of a chance that they're just going to like vanish. They're going to like wall you out. They're going to just like walk away from you or something like that. Assuming the interaction is high quality, assuming that it feels good. Okay. So Steve, I hope that answers your question. Yeah, we're going to start doing some of these live streams, and I'm really excited about this. I am going to answer a couple questions. I probably won't have time to answer everybody's questions, but yeah, we'll see how this goes. Anyway, this has been Clay. Thanks for watching to everybody who's been here live, and I'll talk to you in